Hello everyone and welcome back to another book review. Today I am going to be reviewing volume 3 in a manga series that I have been reading. This was a viewer recommended series that I'm so glad I received the recommendation for. I've been really enjoying this series. I read volumes 1 and 2 and immediately knew I was going to be hooked on the series. So let's dive into my thoughts and feelings on volume 3. The series I am reading is this Kaguya-sama. I'm still not entirely sure if I'm saying that name correctly. Love is War. In my head, I've just been calling it Love is War, and the story and art for this series is by Akasaka. So as you can see, I am on volume 3. I've already read volumes 1 and 2, and if you missed my review on those, I have the reviews up on my channel. I've been loving this series. As I mentioned before, it was a viewer recommendation, and I had a great time reading this. I'm so glad I got this recommendation. I'm not sure I would have gravitated towards it by myself, so I'm glad that someone gave me the push I needed to read it. Volume 3 is continuing our story, so I'll do a little quick synopsis for those who are not entirely caught up. We are following two individuals whose names are Kaguya and Miyuki. Kaguya and Miyuki are both their student council president and their student council vice president at this elite high school. So the high school they attend is the best of the best. It is where the children of industry leaders and politicians and the very wealthy attend, and it's really preparing them to be the best of Japanese society. And of course, the student council president and vice president are the best of an already very selected crowd. So this is a true honor, and our two individuals, a boy and a girl, are very dedicated to improving themselves and really being the person that their families want them to be, except they have feelings for one another, and because they cannot be normal people, and also probably because they're teens and this sort of thing can be very embarrassing when you are a teen, they don't want to actually admit that they like the other person to the other person. They are trying to force the other person to confess their feelings to them. And so we have kind of this standoff, and because of their personalities, their natures, the families they were raised in, this is in their mind a battle, a war that they have to win, and a battle for a battle of wits, a battle for each other, but they don't want to be the one who loses. And in their head, confessing their feelings to someone else is losing. They don't want to lose, they want to win, so both of them are going to do everything in their power to cause the other person to confess first. The series is divided into battles, which are the chapters, and each battle is some situation that's usually concocted by one or the other to create a scenario in which the other person might have to do something or say something that will reveal their feelings for the person who's creating the situation. Of course, these never really go as planned, and sometimes someone winds up meddling, let's say. There is a third individual on the student council named Chika. Chika is very friendly with Kaguya, who is the girl. They're friends, and Chika kind of knows what's going on, but she's kind of a chaotic force, and sometimes she messes up the plans. For example, the first battle or chapter in volume 3 of this series, so this volume, that's what I mean to say, is where both of them are trying to get the other person to invite them to share an umbrella because it's raining, except both of them actually have their umbrellas with them. They have their umbrella tucked in a backpack, but neither one of them wants to confess that they have an umbrella. They want the other person to invite them to share their umbrella. But now they both are pretending like they don't have an umbrella while it's raining, but then they both actually do have an umbrella. But then Shika comes and ruins the whole thing by providing an umbrella that she has extra at school. So now their whole plan has been ruined. And then the rain stops, so their plan is ruined some more. And this is usually how the battles go. The battle of wits gets interrupted by an outside force. Occasionally someone wins and loses, but no one has actually confessed anything yet. In volume 3, we're also introduced to a third character, the accountant for the treasurer for the student council, and that is Yu Ishigami. So he is a little scared of other members of the student council. I feel like he knows something is up and he's not really sure what, but he noticed there's some tension, there's some pressure going on in the student council room. He is just a very entertaining character, and I have to say that the series has been entirely character driven, so it's nice to see that there's really good, strong characters in this series. The plot is mostly just these students going about their daily lives, trying to get the other person to confess, so there's not really like an outside plot that's driving the stories. And when you have a series of any type, manga included, where the real focus is on the characters' interaction with each other. I'm thinking another series I'm reading, Komi Can't Communicate, where a lot of the series is character interaction with each other. Then you really have to have strong and likable and relatable or interesting characters to follow. And I think this series does that very, very well. We have a very small cast of characters. We don't have a wide cast of characters like in other manga series. For example, the other series I just referenced, Komi Can't Communicate, I feel like has a very wide set of characters, or a lot of other manga series have at least more than this one does. In this series, we're really only down to a key handful of characters to follow, but the author does a really good job of managing those characters and their interactions with each other to keep everything interesting and everything fresh, so you really don't get bored with what's going on. The series is incredibly funny. I find myself laughing out loud. I highly recommend. My favorite scene probably was where he's trying to learn how to play volleyball. I think this is just so funny because I'm currently also reading Haikyuu, where everyone's so good at volleyball. So you start this, and this is like a scene that we've all seen before. Someone's serving a volleyball. Of course, things do not go as planned. Another key feature of these individuals is they also have to act like everything is effortless. So they're trying to hide their weaknesses to act like they're really pulled together when they do present in public. I just think the whole thing is funny, the premise is funny, the character interactions are funny, and it's a great series, and I'm so glad that I'm reading it and that it was recommended for me. If you're looking for a new manga series to start, I can recommend this series. I think it's great. Obviously start at volume 1, not volume 3, but volume 3 is great too. I loved volume 3, and if you're reading this series and on volume 3, I think you will enjoy it as well. If you read this series or have anything that you would like to comment about this entry in the series, I would love to hear it in the comments below, or if you have a recommendation you also would like me to read, I would love to hear it as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.